Hey guys, so I am so excited because it is almost October. If you've been with me long enough, you know what that means. It is time for me to announce the 31 Days of Horror. So bear with me. They are apparently choosing to do construction right below my apartment at this very moment. After I did my whole setup, got my makeup on, got dressed, and then they decided to start construction. So if I have to do a lot of cuts or seem frustrated, that's why. Right, so this year, we're doing things a little different. So most years I kind of just take control of the list and I'm like, this is what we're going to do. And like my brother and I do this every year, and if there's a movie he doesn't like or doesn't have access to, he supplements. This year I gave him a list of like 6 movies and I was like, these are the movies I want to watch for sure. You take the wheel, come up with the rest. And that's what he did. So yeah, and we're also going to shake things up a little bit this year as well, because usually, as tradition dictates, we start our 31 Days of Horror by watching all the Scream movies. The first 4 days, of the month, October 1st through the 4th, are usually reserved for Scream, and now it would be the first 5 days. We're going to do things a little differently this year, as you will see. So, for our 31 Days of Horror, day 1, we are doing Halloween. Original, classic, the original Halloween. Day 2, we are doing the Addams Family. Day 3, we are doing Addams Family Values. Great movies. I'm so excited. These movies are so good. I mean, they're not straight up horror, but they are great movies to watch in October. They are freaking hilarious. There's just such a great balance of like spooky movies. Not even spooky, but like I guess you would call it horror comedy. But oh god, like everything about them is perfect. The casting, the directing, it's just everything is so good. Day 4 is The Exorcist, the original. I know they're remaking it. I'm wondering how it's going to be. I watched this last year when I read the book. So yeah, we'll watch it again. Day 5, Only Lovers Left Alive. I've never heard of that. This is also the thing I'm getting Shudder specifically for this month of this month of October. So we'll see how that goes. So some of these might be Shudder exclusives. So if you don't have Shudder, you might not have access to them. Just a warning. Now day 6 is This Is Our Home. Now that was a movie that I discovered because of my brother's podcast, my oldest brother, who has my favorite podcast. That's a random movie podcast, which, I mean, even if he wasn't my brother, it would still be my favorite podcast. Just, yeah. Day 7 is Sleepy Hollow. That was a movie that I specifically put on the list because it came up on Fright Mike and they talked about it, which is my second favorite podcast, and I just have wanted to really watch it ever since. Day 8 is Antlers. I know I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. Day 9 is Black Phone. That is one of the other ones I specifically put on the list. When it came out this summer, my coworkers and I went on our night off and went to see it, and I loved it. It was very good. So I'm excited to share that with my husband and have him watch it. Day 10 through 13, day 10 through 12, I should say, is a series. So you have Hellhouse LLC, Hellhouse LLC 2, and Hellhouse LLC 3. So last year I watched Hellhouse LLC, and oh my god, I fell absolutely in love with that movie. Like, it is genuinely scary in, like, I mean, not a lot of movies scare me unless you're Mike Flanagan, but that movie genuinely scared me. And then I think earlier this year I watched Hellhouse LLC 2, and it has some genuine moments. It was not as good as the first one, I will say, but it had some good moments. And then I just found out like a month or two ago that there was a number 3. And as with the VHS movies, I'm pretty sure this is just going to be a diminishing returns with sequels, but I still want to check it out. So, day 13 is Prom Night, the original, which I think I watched earlier this year too because it came up on Fright Mike. Day 14 is We're All Going to the World's Fair, which is another one I've never heard of. Day 15 is The Guest. I'm pretty sure I've heard of it, but I have not seen it. Day 16 is The Room, and I've never heard of that either. I'm sure it's not. There it is. Thanks, guys. Day 17 is another one I specifically asked for, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, because you gotta have the horror comedy mixed in there. Day 18 is Hatching. Never heard of that either. Day 19 is Candyman, 1992 version, and day 20 is Candyman 2021 version. Last year, my husband and I checked out the 92 version. It's pretty good. And we've been wanting to check out the new one, so that'll be nice. Day 21, my favorite horror movie of all time, which is usually how I end the month, Blair Witch Project. Day 22 is a movie called PreVenge, and the V is capitalized, so. Day 23 is His House. I know I've seen previews for it on Netflix, and it's always been like, that looks really creepy, so it'll be nice to take the time to actually like watch it. Day 24 is What We Do in the Shadows, which is just another great like horror comedy to shove in there, because oh my god, it's just Taika Waititi at his finest. Acting and directing, just some of the best comedy to come out of this decade. Day 25 is Southbound. Never heard of that. Day 26 is Jason Goes to Hell. I've never seen that. I'm not a huge Jason person, but if I remember right, I think this is one that like, this is like a cult favorite among Jason fans, so yeah. And then here we start the flip. So we discussed this last year, and then we discussed it again. We are going to end the month with our Scream movies. Shake things up a bit. So day 27 will be Scream, 28 will be Scream 2, 29 Scream 3, day 30 will be Scream 4, and Halloween will be Scream 5, the new one. So I'm very excited. There is your 31 days of horror. I hope you guys join us. I did lay stipulation on Chris because he tried to slip an A24 movie in there. He doesn't have the feelings I have about A24 productions. So he had Men on the list originally. And I was like, is that an A24 movie? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, that's not going to work for me. I don't watch A24 movies. Yeah, I just don't. I know this is going to be a very probably unpopular, polarizing opinion, but Midsommar and Hereditary were some of the worst horror movies I've ever seen. Maybe they were the true definition of horror, because I was literally the most uncomfortable I've ever been. But to me, that's not what horror is. I want to feel fear and feel scared, not just unbelievably uncomfortable for 2 hours. And then there's the Green Knight. Whatever that was. So I'm going to peace out on A24 movie productions. Yeah. So that was my one stipulation for this list, was none of those movies. So, yeah. Alright, you guys, I hope you join in with us this year for 31 Days of Horror. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see Black Phone again and Hellhouse LLC, and just, yeah. I haven't seen Scream 5 since theaters, and that was January, I believe. So, yeah. I'm very excited. Alright, I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon.